of them tasted like junk. And I remember my husband just saying, just drink it, work out and drink it. You'll be fine. And so we didn't have a nutrition background, but we drank protein because that's what people said to do. And then I was struggling losing the baby weight. I was not feeling confident about myself. And I met my sponsor at the gym next door to my radio station because I was a rock and roll radio DJ. And whenever I'd get off shift, I would go work out. And by workout, I mean run on the treadmill because that's what I thought working out was. I had no idea how to lift weights. I was a cardio bunny trying to lose weight. Like it was crazy. And I met Jack Gibson, who's my sponsor. And he presented me the Herbalife products and I turned them down for a while. I was like, I'm broke. Like, I'm a radio DJ. We don't make any money. Like, I can't buy these products. And he's like, you have to try it. You have to try it. And he was very persistent with me. And then one day I just had enough and I said yes. And I used the products, ended up losing 15 pounds that I was trying to lose of the baby weight, and was introduced to lifting weights and introduced to a community that was uplifting and not trying to bring each other down. And it was just a brand new ball game for us. And that was 8 years ago. Fast forward now, life has been unbelievable. And before we get into why life is unbelievable, I want to give you guys some vision. So Rick said it, and we were talking on the phone the other day, and he's like, you've never worked in your nutrition club? And I was like, no. And here's the reason why. So I know many of you work from home, and there are many of you that are in nutrition clubs as well. Hey, guess what? We have 50 nutrition clubs in our organization. I love them dearly. I help everyone who's in a nutrition club. We personally own one. I do not work out of it. I will one day, but my priority right now are my little babies that I'm home with. So until the next phase in my life, that's where I'm primarily at, is at home. And that's why I'm excited to talk to you guys about like what that looks like. And I told Rick, I was like, yeah, like I haven't worked behind the bar. I'm there a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm at the club a lot. I bring my kid with me, but I don't physically work behind the bar because when I got started in Herbalife, the reason I quit my full-time job and went full-time with Herbalife was because I wanted that time freedom to raise my kids at home. That's what I wanted. And there's nothing wrong with any other way, right? That's just what I wanted. And so that's what I stuck with. So let's fast forward here. Your at-home business, right? No matter what your main daily method of operation is, if you have a nutrition club, it's rocking fantastic. Like Rick said, if it goes away, now what? Or let me give you another perspective. If you have a rockin' nutrition club, do you want to turn away more money? Do you want to turn away more prospects that could potentially not see the nutrition club as an occupation shift? Like, that's not sexy to them, but someone like me, maybe someone like you, who's like, I want to stay at home with my babies and build a business this way. Do people know that they can build a business from home? And if they don't, do they not know because you haven't put that out there for them? And I say you because these are questions that Kyle and I ask ourselves often. And this are things that we train our team to. So I have 3 steps for us tonight that I like to talk to my guys on how to build that at-home business and build it solid. Okay. Now, before we get into the 3 steps, there's a few things that we do, right? We get results ourselves on the products, we post about them, and we are a product of a product in the way that it's not salesy. Does that make sense? Like, I get all the time, I'm like people who are like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. How do I build this business from home? And I'm like, yo, you don't have to be a salesy person. All you get to be is yourself. Unapologetically, authentically, yourself. And that's what's going to connect with people. I remember a time in my business when I was trying to be so perfect and had this image in my head where I had to be the fitness girl, the nutrition girl who knew everything about everything so that people would want to like be coached by me. And when I first got started, like the fitness industry in the South Bend area, like personal trainers on every corner. So it was like, we were just trying to compete at that point. and I had to compete because I had to put food on the table. Like it was, that was it, you know? And now looking back 8 years later, it's like, you know, our customer base is solid. And out of our whole business, I think that's one of the main things that we're so proud of is our customer base, because that is built 100% from home. But we do use the nutrition club to get leads, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. So you guys use challenges, yes? BTC, if you use the BTC, can you type a 1 in the chat? Body Transformation Challenge. Type a 1 in the chat if you use the Body Transformation Challenge. Type a 2 in the chat if you use any other form of challenge, like a weight loss challenge, a 21-day challenge, whatever those are. Cool. Awesome. You guys are on it. Me too. Okay, so here is my advice. We're going to get into the 3 steps. And again, this is just what has worked for our organization and what has worked for Kyle and I this past year of growth. And I call 2020 the year of growth because, as you know, many of us were forced to slow down, right? We were forced to take a look at what was right in front of our faces and slow down. And it could have slowed us down, or it could have allowed all of us to get very intentional. And I think with the momentum of this organization that I'm looking to right now, I think most, all of you were very intentional with your time. And even if you personally don't feel like you're in momentum yet, it's coming, because 2020 had to happen. And maybe what you're going through right now has to happen for what's going to happen on the other side. But you just got to push through, and you have to have a system and a flow to do it. You can't just cross your fingers and be like, okay, this year's going to be better than the next. Have a system and flow. So here's what mine looks like. This is just what's worked for me. Take what you want, leave what you don't, right? It's like a buffet. So step number 1 is know your flow. Know your organization's flow. Lock arms with your sideline, lock arms with your upline. What does this flow look like? So look, Body Transformation Challenge is how I got started in this business. I'm obsessed with it. We enter people like crazy in it. COVID hit, we stopped having in-person events. We took a look at our business and we were like, okay, Zoom meetings are hard enough as it is. 9 weeks without seeing somebody in person is hard enough as it is. What can we do to still keep our business alive? And so we said, okay, January of 2020, we started online weight loss challenges, and we did them for 4 weeks. So every single month, 4-week challenge, week break between, 4-week challenge, week between. And we've been doing that. This is month 14 that we've been doing it consistently. If you're taking notes, write down consistency and circle it. Anything that you do, anything from this call forward, future speakers that get on the call, they can have some gold nuggets and you're like, yes, that's how I'm getting to the president's team. If you're not consistent with that thing, not going to happen. Even the smallest thing, consistency. So consistency with your flow. So for us, we do the 4-week challenges. Again, consistency. As an organization, we got together and we were like, okay, we're still promoting the heck out of the 9-week challenge, but let's get consistent on a smaller basis. So we locked arms and we said, no matter what, we're doing this thing for 12 months. And the first round, it was slim pickings. We had like 50 people enter and like a couple of us coaches putting it together. And then second month, same thing. Third month, got a little bigger. And then all of a sudden it was like, it was clicking. And we could have quit. We were like, oh, this isn't working. Like only a few people are entering, a few coaches are participating. But that's not what happened. We kept going. And there was a group of us that said, no matter what, we're just going to do this thing. And fast forward, it kept growing. And what we saw happen was the more consistent and intentional we got with these 4-week challenges, the bigger they became and the more coaches were coming out of them. Now, with that flow, here's what we do personally. Again, I don't know what you guys do. If what you're doing now is rocking, just keep doing what you're doing. Do not change it. For us, we had to look outside, see what other people were doing, and see what we wanted to implement into ours. And then that's how it became what it is. So we do 4 weeks, like I said, and we do an online group on Facebook. We plug all our people in, and then each one of us coaches has a private like message on Facebook as well. So now not only do they have the big group, but they also have a private group message. What I found, okay, Jena Ingle, 15K President's team member doing this business for 8 years, is that many coaches on the team were just unclear on how to coach people. They've been to all the trainings, they've been to all the calls, unclear how to coach people, which was why they weren't entering as many people in the challenge. So clarity equals confidence, right? We're crystal clear on that. Clarity equals confidence. So when Kyle and I got that, we were like, dang, we just need to train our coaches better. We think they know, but I had some tab teams coming to me like, how do you coach your people? So I was like, ding dong, light bulb. I can't coach this whole challenge, but what I can do is focus on little focus groups. So what we started doing was I added my tab team leaders and all my frontline distributors that wanted to learn more, right, into my client chat on Facebook. And the deal was that they helped me contribute to that chat by like responding and being like, yeah, so awesome, but I'm doing the coaching. I didn't want them like chiming in. I wanted them to contribute and support, but I wanted them to see how I'm coaching. Tell, show, try, do, right? So that's what they witnessed. And you guys, we started doing that, this clicked like spring-ish of last year. We started doing that. And now our challenge is over 200 people. And it's so awesome because it's just 4-week challenges. And to start out with 50, now going to 200, we were like, okay, how can we make this even better? So what we did, so us personally, there's a million ways you can do this, but us personally, we require a $20 entry fee, and then everything gets paid out. We have like a percentage breakdown, and we donate 10% of all entry fees to the South Bend Herbalife Casa, just like the BTC did. And we were like, okay, let's do this. This is another way we can advertise this challenge. And by doing that switch, we saw coaches started entering, not to win, but to donate and to just be a part of the thing. And like momentum started happening that way. We were like, oh my gosh, like everyone's learning from each other. This is fantastic. So you guys, knowing your flow and what that looks like, making sure your team knows what the flow is. If your team can expect from you, right? Maybe they don't know anything else about the business, but what they do know is no matter what, this organization does this, then they can count on it, right? So like for us, again, every 4 weeks is a challenge with a week break and then a challenge and a week break. And it's been like that for over a year. And that's why the confidence is building within the organization. So know your flow is number one. Number two, know your intention. This was huge for us. In the beginning of our challenges, we weren't really clear on what we wanted. We just knew we wanted a retention tool for our customers, a way for our customers to plug in and get information, but we didn't know like what that would look like. So what we found was our intention as an organization is to get as many new customers as we can. Like if you get someone on a program, you better be talking to them about the challenge, period. I got a brand new distributor. Literally, she signed up yesterday. I said, cool, our challenge just started. You have 4 weeks to learn about how we do this challenge. I added her to my coaching group. You have 4 weeks to learn how we do this challenge and promote it on social media and learn all the things, because the next challenge, your goal is to get 5 people in that challenge. Brand new girl. But like, do you see how that is? I'm not just signing her up and she's like, okay, like what's my next step? This is the system. Know the flow, know the intention. So my intention, our intention as an organization with these challenges is to plug our new coaches in and get as many customers as possible, because we have a payout call, just like the body transformation challenge. So everyone can count on the payout call We do an HOM style in the beginning. We do the featured stories, got the pictures, like it's extra work, but it's working. So we got the payout, we do income stories, all of that. And then we do the payout again, just like the BTC. Now, here's what's cool. Knowing our intention, we got together as an organization and we were like, okay, our intention for this payout call is to inspire people that have already got results to now feel empowered that they can do this business too. So our HOM flipped from just celebrating the people that are in the challenge and their results to now putting in like subliminal messages of you can do this too. And the stories, the income stories that we feature, we have a prep call and everything for this HOM, but the stories that we feature, we started with stories intentionally of people that converted to distributor because of a challenge. So like, hey, that was me. I'd share my story, and people don't know levels, right? They're customers. They don't care if I'm president's team. I didn't even mention that, to be honest. I just shared my business intro story. But then what started happening is people were converting, you guys. People were converting from these challenges to become distributor. So let me give you an example, okay? 2 examples. In all of 2020, Kyle and I's focus word was frontline, period. Do you guys do that? Do you set your goals for the new year? And like, do you have like a word for the year? If not, try it. I tried it for the first time last year. So we're on year 2 of my focus word. But last year's focus word was frontline, because we noticed in network marketing, right? You have your front line, you have your second line, and you have your third line. And what we noticed was literally when we would run BizWorks, it was looking like this, to where our front line was not small, but like it was small. And then our second line numbers were bigger, and then our third lines were bigger. And that's great. But we were like, man, if we want to build up to higher Ks and build a steady check, we got to flip this thing around so that we can duplicate more. So we had to get more frontline. So that was our intention. Now, with that intention, spawn the challenges, right? Because I knew if I came from a challenge, why wouldn't some of my customers come from a challenge too? Why wouldn't some of the organization's customers come from a challenge too? So 2 of our frontline distributors now actually came from these weight loss challenges, these 4-week weight loss challenges. One of them signed up last January, and then the other one signed up in March. So she's like approaching her year here very, very soon. And one of them owns now a nutrition club here in Indy. She moved down here with her twin babies, new baby and husband, and opened a club. And they're doing fantastic. She's doing 20,000 volume points a month. It's insane. And guess what? People see that 20,000 volume points a month and they're like, man, their club must be rocking. You guys, 10,000 of that 20,000 volume points is customers and preferred members. Because that's how we duplicate. That's how we build our business strong and steady. So it's like, what standards do you have for your organization, for yourself, for your duplication? Again, goes back to the number 2 in the notes, know your intention. If your intention is to duplicate, okay, let's break that down smaller. Okay, I want to duplicate, awesome. Okay, I want to recruit distributors, awesome sauce. What's my intention? If my intention is to help a lot of people through some at-home business, then that's where we focus. We laser focus on that. Everything else is just icing on the cake. So know your intention. And again, our 4-week challenge is just what works for us. And then my personal intention is I enroll all my new people in the 4-week challenge because it's an easy advertisement, right? Every single month you're advertising something. Every single month you have an HOM. It's just the system. You know what I mean? For me, it's like once someone converts to distributor, then after all is said and done, now I talk to them about the 9-week body transformation challenge. That's my flow. 4-week until you're a distributor, then I roll you into the 9-week. Again, that's just me. That's what's been working for me. Do what works for you. Okay. Step number 3, a call to action. We already talked about this, right? Having a call to action. It's great having challenges, right? That's why I'm obsessed with the body transformation challenge, because what can we always depend on? There's a payout. There's an HOM. Your clients, when we could get in person, right? Your clients would see people's stories and results, and hopefully they become inspired to be a distributor, right? That's always the end game. That's always the goal. If not, great, let's enter them again. They'll get inspired eventually. So, having a call to action. Again, every DMO, daily method of operation, everything you guys do, having a flow, an intention, and a call to action behind it. So, again, locking arms together. If you guys have an HOM that you're already launching, which I'm sure you do, of some sort, it's a matter of, okay, how can we make this better? It's a matter of reaching to your upline and being like, how can I contribute? Because I promise you, leadership is hard. Being a distributor is hard. Balancing your full-time job and your at-home business is hard. Balancing being a parent and having kids in school and also trying to build your Herbalife business, it's hard. It's all hard, you guys. All of it's hard. There's no perfect scenario. I always thought, if I could just be full-time Herbalife, this would be so much easier. And then it got there, and then all the other responsibilities came flooding in, and I'm like, oh my God, nothing got easier. You just get better, you know? Like, it doesn't get easier. You get better, you get stronger, you get more confident because you got that clarity from your system. So know your flow, know your intention, and then have a call to action always. And if you're unclear somewhere, that's literally the flow, like those 3 steps. And if one of them doesn't make sense for you, reach out to your upline and be like, okay, this isn't clicking for me. Something's not right. With my distributors, I'm like, okay, we're not getting the call to action. So we got to back up here and we got to know your intention. You know what I mean? Like, you can't skip over and pick and choose. It's got to flow together, if that makes sense. Okay. So that's what I have on that, you guys. I'm going to end this with some numbers, and then if you want, we can open it up for Q&A. I'm totally down for that. But I want to leave you guys with some vision and some numbers, okay? Because Herbalife posted checks early, so we can talk about some things. Am I cool talking about that, Rick? Are you good?
Yep, it's a private meeting, so we can do that.
Beautiful. Okay, no one's recording. Everything's Gucci. Okay.
Well, I'm recording, but it's only for sharing here. It's all good.
For sure. I love you. You love me. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So here's what's dope about Herbalife. I love this business. I love this business. So let's talk Nutrition Club first. So our Nutrition Club is profiting about $2,000 a month right now. And our numbers aren't crazy. They're good. We're comfortable. Our partners are happy. Like, it's awesome. And at the end of our books, after everything's paid, we're profiting about $2,000 a month. It's great. I have a downline, and he's like, can I buy this location from you guys? And I was like, dude, a rental doesn't even profit $2,000 a month. Like, no, you can open your own club someday, but you're not buying mine from me. This is another stream of income. You know what I mean? So just to give you guys like vision, like somewhere down the line, if a club is something that you want to do and you want to do successful, you can absolutely do that, you know, like get with your upline and figure out what that system and everything looks like. But what I love about Herbalife is you can have it all, right? You can have it all if you work for it. So here's the deal. I like to look at my year over year and compare that when I look at my business, because that's how you can see growth, right? I look at January's income and organizational volume of last year versus January of this year. I don't look at, oh, what's my January compared to February? Because that doesn't really show me like growth. You know what I mean? Like, you can get excited, but you can feel so much gratitude looking year over year, because that's where you see the boom, right? But when it comes to monies, I like to look month over month because it can flex like crazy, right? So let's look month over month for that comparison here. This last check that posted, so for January, compared to December, is a difference of $3,700. My wholesale check, like that's the difference. Like made $3,700 more in my wholesale check that just got posted than we did last month. That's crazy. Like how much it can fluctuate. And that's not working any shifts. That's literally my wholesale check. So my preferred members and things like that, right? People not yet soup, all that. So let's talk monies. Okay, on the 15th for the wholesale check that just got deposited, we made $18,825.42 in one check. So on the 20th, when that one comes around and we can see what our royalty check is, it's going to be unbelievable. You guys, when I was a radio DJ, I made $27,000 a year. And now I make more than that in a freaking month. I say that to you guys, not to brag, not to boast, because when we got in this business, we heard from our mentor, who heard from his mentor, who heard from his mentor. You can't help the poor if you're one of them. And that hit me so hard because I remember being a DJ and I remember hosting like radioathons for the JDRF, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and not being able to donate. I was interviewing these parents of these kids with type 2 diabetes and everyone's crying and it's heartbreaking. And I donated like $5. And I'm sitting there just feeling like a POS because I couldn't do more. And like, that sucks, right? And now I look back and it's like, man, so grateful. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money can be, but money itself is not, because of what you can do with it, my friends. And once you can detach yourself from that mindset and get into a whole different ballgame, that's when you will find yourself being successful. And the only reason I went there is because my heart felt like that needed to be said tonight, because that's where I was. And that's what held me back for a really long time, because I had always heard growing up, money was the root of all evil. So I always belittled myself like I wasn't worthy of it. I can tell you one thing, after sharing that income just now, I really, really hope that at least one of you is inspired to go after everything that you deserve, because you do, regardless of how you were raised, regardless of where you're from, you deserve it. Everything that you were put on this earth to do. So I will throw it back to Rick. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to stay and answer them. And if not, I'm just so grateful that you guys had me on this call, because this organization is on fire. And I'm so excited to see more president's team in this region, because it is about time.
Well, thank you very much. Pardon the lack of video camera. It's just not working. I'm on twice. I'm on my phone too. But guys, this is an opportunity you have to ask some questions of somebody who's super successful. So if you have a question, come off mute and ask away.
I have one.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Okay. Hi, Jena. Thanks so much for coming out and giving us the goods tonight. That was awesome. I got some amazing notes from you. So my question for you is, in the first few years of your business, what did the workload split look like for you and Kyle as far as like different tasks? I know you guys have like different strengths and things like that, but what did that look like for you guys?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I mean, we were both just like workhorse, throw spaghetti at the wall, try to figure out what's going to work for who. We didn't know our strengths at the time. We just went all in, and we quickly found out our strengths, because we found out what I'm absolutely not good at and what he's great at, and vice versa. So I would say in the beginning, just go hard and figure out what you're passionate about. You'll hear a lot of people, and this is my experience, no way a guru, not trying to be one. This is just my experience. I've done a lot of personal development where I'll hear people say, be a jack of all trades, balance everything, and that's great. But what worked for us working it as a couple was I went all in on what I was really good at and what I really loved to do and what I could get better at. I went all in on that, and then same with him. So like Kyle is fantastic at accounting and BizWorks and billing and like everything nutrition club wise, like he's fantastic at. That's his lane, and I let it be his lane. For me, and I'm still involved, but like I let him kind of run the show there. For me, I love coaching people. I love helping them get results. I love social media, like showing my life on social media, because I feel like that's a way that people can trust me, and they trust me, so they trust Herbalife, not the other way around, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, in the beginning, just you got to figure out like what you're passionate about and delegate accordingly.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, friend.
Hi, beautiful.
So it's not really a question, but something, because I got to see your face a couple weeks ago that I think is very valuable to people. When you explained at the STS how people ask you, what does a 15K President's Team Members Day look like? I think that's very, very valuable. If you want to share that, that would be great.
Sure. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying a little bit ago in the call, how I thought when I was like full-time Herbalife or President's Team or whatever, like it would be so much easier. And then it's like, Rick, it's coming, just wait.
Oh boy.
So yeah, so a number one question that we get as Pres Team members a lot is, what's a President's Team Members Day look like? And it's from distributors who want to mimic what the Pres Team do. Okay, fine line here, okay? Here's what I recommend. Mimic what a Pres Team does in a sense of how they show up. A Pres Team member will always have their camera on as long as they can, and it's not glitching like Rick's. They will always have their camera on calls. A Pres Team member at the events, I personally would watch how they talk, watch how they interact with people. I would watch how they dress. I would watch all of that, not because I wanted to be them or like be someone I wasn't, but because I wanted to enhance who I already was and just keep getting better, if that makes sense. So I would watch their demeanor in that way. As far as schedule, I would not recommend being a President's Team member schedule. I would recommend looking at a distributor who's really grinding. So it's like, look within your organizations, look at the Gibson top, whatever, take a look at those volumes and stuff. And it's like, okay, who is not yet President's Team that is killing it right now? And that's whose schedule I would want to be like picking their brain on. And the reason being is because it's a different kind of animal when you're world team grind, get team grind, millionaire team grind compared to President's Team grind. Because Pres Team, you become a master juggler. It's like going from no kids to 3 kids. Like literally a Pres Team is having the 3 kids. And then like the get team, mill team grind is like having the no kids, if that makes sense. So if I could give you any advice, it would literally be work as intentionally and as hard as you possibly can. If President's Team's your goal, if it's not, then work according to what your goal is. But if that is your goal, then work as hard as you can in the beginning, because it's going to set you up for success once you do get to the President's Team, and then you get more responsibilities, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that really does make sense. I never really thought about the difference between the cuts, but they are totally different. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, guys? We've got a few more minutes. I know some of you have another call to get on, so we want to make sure we get your questions if you have them.
I have a
Hey,
question.
Jenna, I have a question as well.
Go ahead.
Oh, is that Tanya?
Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
Go ahead, Jessica. Go ahead.
My question is what is your script that you are privately messaging people to get them into like a 21-day challenge or your 4-week challenge?
Sure. So I personally, this is what I found to do. I will privately message someone who's already on products if I think that it would be valuable for them. And I pitch the value, not the challenge, if that makes sense. Like you let them know about the challenge, but it's the value that you're presenting. So for example, this challenge, we try to get something and get the whole team aligned on what that value is, because then that's the intention behind the invitation. So this challenge, we did a Herbalife recipe book, and it's just a PDF, and we like made a bunch of Herbalife recipes, and we said, for challengers only this round, blah, 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 brand new volume 1 Herbalife recipe book. And so I would message people that would respond on my polls, because I do polls on Instagram of who's interested. And if they're interested, I would message them and give them all the added value of what they'd get, because they have to be on products in order to get in our challenges. And then, yeah, I would just like talk about the added value. And then like last month we did a workout guide, like an at-home workout guide. And we have like a challenge committee. There's 5 of us, and we all bounce ideas around each other. And then that's who like makes these things. That way I'm not organizing hundreds of people trying to figure out what we're going to do for a challenge. So yeah, I mean, if you're really into your challenges, I would lock arms with some sideline so you can get a bunch of good ideas going and like rock it out.
All right, Tanya, you had a question.
Yes. Hi, Jenna. It's Tanya. Hi. First of all, thank you so much for doing this call. It's very valuable. The question for you is, a few of us had a chance to talk to Eric this week, and one of the things that he suggested to me was to do like a targeted HOM for like stay-at-home moms. Like we have HOM that we do monthly with our 21-day challenge. But have you ever done anything like that that's like targeted to a specific group of people?
That's good. That's a great idea. I'm gonna write that one down. We have not in that sense, but what we have started doing is we have team calls, you know, just like this, and each week is like a different topic. And last night's team call that we had was we advertised it as a product training, and we were going over the 24 line. And so what we did was we got together, and it's usually just for distributors. We actually opened it up to all of our weight loss challengers. So like I said, we have over 200 in this challenge. So we opened it up to all of them. Now, did everyone get on? No, but the ones that did, we made it worth it because we included meal plans and testimonies and went over the whole 24 line. And it was very specific and tailored to that. So what you're saying about the like at-home mom thing, that's really smart. And I would do that. I'm going to do that.
Maybe we should do it together.
Love it.
Thank you.
Okay, we have an open line on the radio show, callers. Oh, sorry, I was trying to make Jenna feel like she was back. Anybody else? All right. Well, Jenna, thank you very, very much for taking time out of your busy day. We really appreciate it. The team is on fire, and to have this many people show up on a off night to come and listen shows how much A, they want to get better, and B, how much they really wanted to hear from you. So we really, really appreciate the time and the information. And I think we're going to see a lot of really cool things happen because you stepped up to help out. So we really, really do appreciate it. With that, thank you. We'll let you get back to your kids because I know if I had left mine, and there were only 2 of them, if I had left mine alone for an hour during dinner time, there would be a mess. So I understand how that goes.
Happening, actually. There's a lot of screaming happening. So I should probably save Kyle or one of them.
You could have brought Jake to the call. That would have been fun.
No, don't think so.
All right. If you guys want to get off and say thank you, feel free to unmute, and then you're free to move about the country. I'm going to stop the recording, and that way, you know, if whatever gets said is all good. All right.